I just wish that it was more than just her being praised.
It's also, oh my gosh, Keanu Reeves' girlfriend and partner. She's been getting praised too.
Hi everybody, welcome to the 5th episode of the A-List Admission. I'm gonna lose track of how many numbers are eventually, but eventually it'll just become welcome to the A-List Admission, because whatever.
Yeah, I just stopped counting now.
All right.
We hit one hand, so
one hand. That's it. Now after this, we're not counting. Just a little heads up, guys, before we go too far. Cheyenne's not feeling the greatest, so this is going to be a shorter episode. How short, it'll depend on how long we talk about the reviews. But today is just a review day, so we're just going to be talking about the 4 movies we watched this week,
which is still pretty good.
Decent amount.
Yeah. And
you watched 2 of them while you weren't feeling the greatest. So
yeah. It's just a chest infection, but, could be better. Exactly.
And I don't want to tire her voice too much, and so we're just going to do just the reviews, and then the rest will... then it'll also save up a category of stuff that we usually talk about in the second half for another day. Plus the Oscars are coming up, so we'll have a whole conversation about the Oscars. And then, so we'll have a bunch of different topics to talk about in the future. And so this one being a shorter episode, no big deal. Cool. All right. So the 4 movies we watched were The Last Showgirl,
The Room Next Door,
Flight Risk,
and Presence.
There you go.
In that order.
In that exact order. And obviously, Showgirl and The Room Next Door, they came out last week, but actually they came out last year during TIFF, but they're being released in theaters now for everyone to see. It's the same with the Brutalist that also came out last year for TIFF, and the other movie we haven't watched because it started out as a limited release and now it's started coming out in more and more theaters is September 5th. So we'll let you know if we end up watching those 2. If we don't, just know the Brutalist is a 3.5-hour movie, so it's a long grind, and there's a bunch of controversy behind it as well. And if we end up watching September 5th, like I said, we'll let everyone know what ends up happening. But definitely, we've watched 2 out of the 4 movies that came out within the last year.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, I guess I'll start talking about The Last Showgirl.
Yeah.
All right. So, The Last Showgirl, I watched this on Sunday after, or before the episode 4 came out. Stars Pamela Anderson. It has Brenda Song in it. It has Kieran, I can't remember her last name.
No, Kiernan Shipka.
Thank you.
And Dave Bautista.
Yeah, and Dave Bautista. So any wrestling fans.
But fans of Dave Bautista.
True, I guess because
he's
an actor more and more now, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So we watched it on Sunday. I had no expectation because we had really no idea what this movie was going to be about, apart from it being showgirls.
It's what I kind of thought it was going to be, but yeah.
So it was just under mediocre. I think it's a movie where, like, if you are really interested in like a drama, you might like it. I just didn't think anything was super compelling, and to be fair, didn't really understand what was going on for a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of felt like the movie was being pushed along because it needed to.
It flatlined.
Yeah. Like, and then there were a lot of for a drama, there was even a lot of dramatic notes that I thought it was going to go one way to make it more dramatic, and it didn't. Right? I'm not going to spoil anything, but it just was. There were certain aspects of the movie that could have gone another way to make it more dramatic, and it just didn't.
If anyone follows our mini series Pop or Flop, in that one, that was, I think, your first flop.
Yep.
And I said it was on the cusp of a flop. I am changing it to a flop because it was not entertaining. It missed so much storyline they could have expanded on. Like, she's getting rave reviews, Pamela Anderson.
I mean, she's doing the no makeup
natural beauty.
Yeah, exactly. Which is great. I just Okay, my little maybe little controversy thing on that is like I think she looks great without makeup. I just
But that's not the context of the movie. Like,
no, that's not what I mean. I mean like this is a side thing from the movie.
oh,
Like I don't understand why she's getting all these rave reviews for being beautiful. Like she looks beautiful with no makeup on, but I know a lot of women that do the no makeup look sometimes,
Yeah.
and they get no recognition for it.
yeah.
That's my side.
Mm.
But yeah, I just I don't know. This movie, there were things about it that I wish was more dramatic, because the way that it ended was very like, oh okay.
But back to the no makeup thing.
Oh sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say, it's how she's doing it outside of that movie. It's not the movie reason, I think, for the
No. I know she's doing it. She's not wearing makeup in general
just,
now.
yeah, it
But
has
like
nothing to do with the movie.
my mini thing is like I just wish more women got praised for now doing the no makeup look than just one woman. No, again, like I think it makes me sound really mean about Pamela Anderson. I think she looks great. I think she looks really good at with no makeup. I just wish that it was more than just her being praised.
It's also, oh my gosh, Keanu Reeves' girlfriend or partner, she's been getting praised too. She's
oh yes.
But they're about the same age, like so, like that's a huge thing in Hollywood circles. So
all right. But yeah, just to jump back on this movie, yeah, my I'll let Cheyenne talk about like her review for it, but yeah, mine was like very subpar.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. The acting was good.
Yeah, that was the only thing that saved this movie.
Yeah, but it felt a little dragged out and a little boring. I was a little disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah, so my final rating ended up being about a 4.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.5.
Yeah, I was bouncing between a 4.5.
Yeah, just because the acting.
But I will say, okay, so this movie would be rated higher if the story was just better. But like the acting did bring this movie from like a 2 to a 4.5.
Yeah.
Because everyone acted their butts off. I just remember Jamie Lee Curtis is also in this movie.
Oh yeah.
And like every single person that acted in this movie did a phenomenal job of acting, but there was nothing to go off of.
No.
And
they
still did well.
Oh my gosh, what's her name? Billy Lord?
Oh yeah, Billy Lord's in it. Yeah, that's a great cast.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
Not a good one, yeah.
All right. Do you want to bring up the second one?
Sure. Okay, next movie was The Room Next Door, which was Tilda Swinton and Julianne Moore, like the main two, and also John Turturro.
Yeah.
That's how it's spelled. Anyway, if anyone knows Secret Window, he's John Shooter. If anyone knows Monk, he's Monk's brother.
Oh, Monk is such a good show.
Anyway.
Well, that's a different thing.
Yeah, but anyway, those are the main three in that movie. It's essentially about a woman who's dying, and she wants to go on her own terms. And she asks a friend to be in the next room in a house she's rented for a month. But she hasn't told the friend when she's going to do it. She just said the next month while she's there, just enjoy it like you're on vacation. And if you see the door closed, that's it. So yeah, I wasn't exactly sure what I would think of this movie, because I knew I loved Tilda Swinton. And Julianne Moore is also a phenomenal actress. They're both really good in their fields. But yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect. Once I found out what the main storyline was, being that whole death on their own terms, it reminded me of, I told Ricky this, it reminded me of an episode of The Golden Girls where Rose and Nyland had to do the same thing. No, but overall I actually really liked it. I know it tugged at your heartstrings.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my thing for it was, I thought, like, I think me and Sharon both had a conversation where we were like, okay, we both thought it might have been a gay love story, which was fine. Like we were going to go see it anyway, but we just weren't sure what, because based on the poster of the movie, and I think we didn't even watch a trailer for this movie.
No.
And so just basing it off of the poster, we're like, oh, this might be like a lesbian love story. And so when we started watching it, we're like, oh, this is not that at all.
No.
But yeah, I thought the movie was great. I really liked it. Yeah, so the one movie I told Cheyenne it reminded me a lot of was a movie called Wit with what's
Christopher Lloyd?
No, yeah, Christopher Lloyd and Emma Thompson. Both movies deal with
like grief? Or...
yeah, like really harsh cancer, and so like both movies made me really sad.
Yeah.
Oh, but this one was, I felt, was a better sad.
More positive.
Yeah. Then Wit is just sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, if this movie I would recommend if you're looking for a movie that like is like cry worthy, this is there.
Yeah.
This will get you there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did tear up. So.
Well, I the funny thing was I didn't cry during the movie.
No.
I cried thinking about it afterwards.
Yeah, during the credits.
Yeah, just bawled.
Yeah.
The
interesting thing is, Tilda Swinton. Yeah, she's the one with the cancer, and her daughter comes in later, and it's also played by Tilda Swinton. So it's a really interesting take on how much the daughter looks like the mother.
Yeah,
but I like how they did it. Yeah.
Yeah, so my rating for this movie would be a 7. I think a 7 is solid for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all the 4 movies we saw. I'd give this one an 8. I'd give this one an 8. And I'm thinking of all 4 movies that we saw. I'd give this one an 8.
It's because I'm harsher on the next 2 than you are, I think.
No, the next 2 I'm going to be a little harsher.
All right, we'll see. But yeah, so I think that, again, The Room Next Door was the best movie we saw all week. 100%. I think it did all the dramatic notes it needed to hit. It hit all the emotional notes it needed to hit. The acting was phenomenal. The story was good. Yeah, I think it was like a decent movie. Obviously, like, I'm not going to say it's perfect because then we wouldn't shut up about it.
But decent like, movie?
It's a decent as
decent
in,
makes it sound like a 5.
It's a good movie. It is a good movie. I just think, like, obviously there's always things that things can improve on, but nothing in terms of, I think it's just the story probably could have been, one, the movie could have been longer.
Yeah.
And 2, the story could have been fleshed out more.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I found my one critique is, I guess there's little things that they could have done extra.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like the ending of the movie, I thought, just cut short. I felt like we could have gone further.
Maybe.
Right. But
I guess so. Yeah, no. But I'm trying to remember if it felt long for me.
This one didn't.
Because in parts I'm like, Last Showgirl definitely felt longer.
Yeah.
Even though they were about the same.
I think every movie this week was around 1 hour 30.
Average 1:30, yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Last Showgirl was around 1 hour 40.
Yeah, this one also around 1 hour 40. Flight Risk 1 hour 30 something, and then Presence was the shortest at 1 hour 24.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So what was yours? Was an 8? You said for this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's a 7. Okay. So then we'll go into the third movie, which is Flight Risk, which I always called Flight Plan by accident, but Flight Risk is the movie with Mark Wahlberg. And Topher Grace is the only 2 very notable actors in this. She
is too. There's a U.S. Marshal, and I know her from something, but I can't remember what.
I'll put her name. But yeah, like, so it's truly, the cast is basically 3 people. And this movie is about like a U.S. Marshal and a key witness go on a plane because he's going to testify against the mafia.
A big mob boss.
And I'm not spoiling anything also because this is literally in the trailer, which I'll get to in a minute. But they get on a plane. The pilot flies them. She notices some blood on his collar. He notices that his flight license is not his photo. So then they quickly realize he's
hijacked.
Yeah, he's run by the mob, and then carnage ensues.
Shit hits the fan. Yeah.
Yeah. So my critique with this movie truly is this movie is predictable from beginning to end.
There's a couple moments I didn't think were. I was surprised.
Sure.
But...
Even the 1 or 2 surprises were not surprising for this genre in general.
Yeah.
Right? Like this genre being, oh, this person is the thing, or this person is the thing, or I don't know. I was telling my coworkers that, like, from just the trailer, I could have told you how this movie ended, no questions asked, and it was right.
Yeah.
It just I think the one problem with this trailer was they gave too much away. Like, had the trailer not shown the twist of Mark Wahlberg being
Oh,
the bad guy, I think this movie would have done way better.
there's another big twist as well
Sure.
that I don't want to spoil. That's
Sure.
not in the trailer.
I understand that, but I don't think that twist is big enough to make up for the Mark Wahlberg twist.
I don't know. I don't think it. There's a couple more twists later that I thought were decent, and the thing that I liked about this movie was it was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be. Like
Sure.
Topher Grace is really funny in it. Mark Wahlberg also has his quirks because he's a pilot working for the mob. So
Right.
like, yeah, I thought it was kind of funny, and it had moments like that.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it nearly as much.
Fair.
Yeah. So my rating is going to be a 5.5.
I was going to give it a 6. So.
All right. Yeah, this movie's a 5.5 for me. And even in our pop and flop series, I was like, it barely scrapes by.
Yeah.
But Presence actually boosted the score.
Of this one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. This movie could have been written better. It could have been more dramatic. It was funny. I'm happy that it hit the funny notes. But but then I also feel like it's limited to, well, what can you do on a plane with 3 people?
Yeah.
And 2 of them are good guys, and 1 of them is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's my thing. Or one, I guess one is more ambiguous. Like, Topher Grace's character is like ambiguously good or bad. But anyway, I just felt like there could have been more, man. Like especially for an action movie, this felt so dumbed down.
Yeah.
There could have been more. There could have been a lot more things to change the sway of, is A gonna win, or is Mark Wahlberg and the mob gonna win, or is the U.S. Marshals and Topher Grace gonna win? Like I never felt that sway. I could tell you from the beginning, I'm not worried about any of these characters because blank is gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you talk about.
Okay. Last movie was Presence, directed by Steven Soderbergh.
And Lucy Liu's in it.
That's the only person that I
the
know
other
of
3 people I don't recognize, but that doesn't mean that they're not.
There's other people too I don't recognize, so.
Yeah, but Lucy Liu's the big name attached to this.
Sure. Anyway, the concept is actually, I liked the concept because it's filmed in view of the spirit that's haunting the house.
Yeah.
So
if
it's filmed like
it's a horror movie. Sorry.
It's filmed with a wide angle like lens vibe, so like an aerial view of people going up to them, and like, so the house is haunted, and the daughter can kind of sense that someone's there, because she's gone through a lot of grief. I definitely had higher hopes for this, knowing that it was filmed in the point of view of a spirit. There was a twist at the end I thought was decent, but overall it wasn't enough to make it a strong movie for me.
I agree. This movie I had, like, kind of what Cheyenne said, I had very high expectations for. I thought it was going to be like revolutionary for the horror genre, because I don't think there's another movie I can think of that does this, where it takes
I don't know. There might be, but
there probably is. But this one I thought was really cool. And when the movie started, I was like, "Oh, this is." I was already all on board. I think I leaned over to Total and I'm like, "I really like this." And it was cool. Like the idea that you're following the family from an entity that obviously doesn't talk, but is terrorizing the family, was cool.
Yeah.
I needed more scare, man.
I like none of these really scare me anyway.
Well,
so.
okay. For the traditional horror movie, I needed horror. This wasn't horror. This was drama.
I could see moments where it was horror.
Barely.
Sure.
And I mean it truly barely. Like, the fact that it's labeled horror is too misleading, I think, personally. I think it should be like a pseudo horror almost. Like it needs to, if it wants to be classified as a horror, it needs to hit not all horror beats, but like it needs to be somewhat worrying, or somewhat like there has to be some anticipation to, like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next, or oh my god, or like, even like, not that I truly enjoy in horror movies, I hate the just jump scare for jump scare's sake.
Yeah.
But even this didn't have anything close to
it
moment.
Kind of did, but it lost it because you knew what the spirit was doing to have the jump scare happen.
I guess
If that makes sense. Like I'm not gonna spoil it. There is a scene with the
later,
daughter,
yeah,
in her room,
but that's not.
and there's certain like things that could be a jump scare, but because we saw it happening before it happened, it lost that effect.
I don't know. The movie could have been better. Just truly, I think the writing was.
I hated.
So one of the characters is so freaking cringy, and I hated him for it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I love the dad in this movie.
The dad is the only redeemable character.
Yeah, I don't like Lucy Liu's character.
But I think you're made not to like her.
Yeah.
I think you're made not to like a lot of these characters. But
Yeah.
like, the dad is great. The daughter's great. The son and the mom are the only two that you're like, why you're so fucking mean for no reason. But I don't know. This movie just didn't excite me by the end of it. I was just bored, really, by the end of it. Not that it was a bad movie, but it really wasn't a good movie either. All right, my rating is a 5.
It's funny. 5. I was gonna say a 5. I was also gonna say.
I think you rated Flight Risk too high.
A 6?
Yeah.
You did 5.5.
But only because this was worse.
No,
but
that one wasn't bad.
So truthfully, the end, the way that they rounded up for me was. The Last Showgirl was the most boring. I did not like it by the end. The Presents basically just beat it out.
It's just called Presents.
Did I say called? I always call it The Presents.
So there's another movie that came out years back called The Presents. Different movie.
So, yeah. Presents, I ended up just going, oh, well, it wasn't good, but it really wasn't the worst movie. One that we saw that week, or two that we have ever seen.
Well, we were comparing a lot of them to The Last Showgirl.
Yeah, because
for good reason.
The Last Showgirl this week was just not
for good reason. Good.
Yeah. Flight Risk was also in that boat, but to me, because it was funnier, it just beat out Presents, and then obviously The Room Next Door was amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that was also like because we saw The Last Showgirl and The Room Next Door so close together, I was able to go, oh yeah, those are the two, the worst in the week, the best of the week. Yeah. And then the other two we just filed in.
Oh, fair. Yeah. I guess so, yeah.
Like I don't know how you decided your rankings, but that was how
I didn't mind. Like I genuinely didn't mind Flight Risk.
Okay.
And Last Showgirl I didn't like. Presents was just okay, and Room Next Door was good.
Okay. All right, so
we have some time.
We have a little bit of time. We're not going to go too far, just solely because obviously Cheyenne's not feeling the greatest. But one of the quick things we'll talk about just briefly is in this week we watched Flight Risk in VIP, which
at Cineplex.
Which Cineplex has a couple of different offers for different types of movies, right? So we wanted to talk about that briefly, just because we also talk about a lot of different movies, and if you're not a moviegoer, or if you're a moviegoer that only typically just does what is called regular on there, you may be confused by like what is Ultra AVX or what is 4DX or what is VIP, right?
D-Box, like
all that stuff. So we're gonna do a quick little roundup of what that is, because we just want everyone to be aware when you go in. Hey, you like the movie theater experience, but you want a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, one, that little more is gonna cost you extra, but two, then it'll also just get you be more aware. Like, oh, I want to try something different, right? So obviously, everyone knows what the regular theater is. It's just you go in, or pay for a ticket. When you pay for your ticket, you pick your seats.
Yeah, which is it's only been around for like probably 10.
Since COVID, I think.
Was it COVID? Or I thought it was a little longer.
Maybe it'd be a little longer, but essentially, you pick your seats, you sit, and it's just you're basically just paying for the seat and the movie. That's what a regular is, right? Obviously, 3D, you get 3D glasses with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the movie is in 3D.
Yeah, okay, so then Ultra AVX. That one is the audio-visual experience. So it's a bigger screen, better audio, better visuals. It's a crisper look. It's like getting Blu-ray instead of getting a DVD.
Yeah, and then you get a better... Yeah, kind of what you said, better surround sound, better...
Yeah, and they make note of that when you go to see Ultra AVX. It does a little ad promo thing explaining it, but Ultra AVX also does 3D once in a while.
Yeah.
So it's that cool extra sound, extra visuals, crisper stuff with 3D glasses.
Yeah, so basically it's your regular, just amped up a bit. Because your regular, right, you can do your regular movie or 3D, but it's still regular. And then Ultra AVX does regular 3D as well. And then I'll let you want to do D-Box as well?
Sure, yeah.
I did the first two.
Sure. So D-Box is kind of, it's like a vibration seat, if you will. I don't like D-Box personally because I think the seats are too hard to sit on for like 2 hours. But I think they're usually red in color.
Red or orange.
Like a red. It's a red.
I don't know. I thought they were orange.
Anyway, they vibrate. So they're not simulator seats. They just zzz when like something happens on the screen. So like you're watching Jurassic Park, let's say, and when the dino is running, you'll feel like a vibration of the dino's feet as it goes.
They do move a little bit, but not much.
Not really. If it is, it's because of the vibrations.
I thought they do lean a little. Like little forward. I could be wrong, but
I don't know.
we haven't done D-Box in a bit because the seats are so bad.
Yeah, the seats are really hard to sit on. But yeah, there is an extra fee attached to the D-Box.
Yeah.
As is most of the extra experiences.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of D-Box, but it's essentially a vibration seat overall.
Great. So we'll talk about VIP, just because VIP is the one that we most recently do, and two, it is I would say the best couple experience.
Yeah.
That face didn't sell that, but yeah, it's
no, it is because we just that's not our shtick.
So what VIP is basically you're paying for one, a smaller theater, two reclined seats, so each VIP is slightly different, but for example, one of the theater that we went to, the major theme of it is reclined seats, comfy seats, heat seats,
cold seats,
and then the big sell and this is the same across all of them, is instead of going up to go get your concessions, there's someone that comes up and asks if you can order your concessions at the table. And then they bring it to you. The menu's different. But you can still order the classic movie stuff too. So like if you just wanted a popcorn and some pop, you can order a popcorn and pop. But you can also order like burgers, you can order pizza, you can order salads, you can order cocktails and
like alcohol is allowed, but it's also allowed now in general. Yeah. But you get like cocktails and like you get liqueurs and stuff. Whereas if you just got it at the concession stand, it's just cans of beer. I think
cans of beer or coolers, I think as well. But the idea for this is just more like an elevated dining experience, and then you get some places like you'd have the recliner seats and the warm seats. Yeah. The next one for us would be the big one is, and I mean this big, is the IMAX theater.
So no pun intended, but
IMAX is a different type of film, and I mean that in the way that it's filmed, because Oppenheimer is the most recent one that is like made for IMAX, and that one is essentially wider screen, bigger. It's a bigger screen, more in depth, and a large sound. Like this, it sounds like you're in a recording studio. Like it's Ultra AVX taken one step higher, right? Now, fun little tidbit that not everyone knows is that there are true IMAX theaters, and then there are not like fake IMAX theaters, but IMAX theaters that don't fit the true IMAX setup, right? So the one in Ontario that I know for a fact is the one in Square One in Mississauga. Yeah, because that one is like a true IMAX theater that has the shape of it, but also the size of the screen is just the exact proportions that it needs to be.
So the next one is one we actually haven't done, but other cinema brands like Landmark have a similar experience. It's called Screen X. It's essentially a 270-degree panoramic movie. Yeah. A friend of mine saw a movie there. I think they saw Wicked there, and essentially it's literally the movie, but it's to your sides too. It's like your peripheral.
Oh, so it really puts you there.
Like puts you in. Yeah, very much so. We have not done that. I don't think there's any Cineplex around us that has that offer.
We should look, because we should do it one time. But yeah, so if you see a Screen X, just know that it's literally your left, your right, and the center, the movie in the center.
Yep.
Cool. Once we do it, we'll update you guys and see
Yeah.
how if we like it or if it like screws up the visuals. But
Yeah.
from what I heard, from what I know, your friend said it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting take on it.
Cool. And then the last two, well, we'll do 4DX is the big one. We went to go see. Was it Mission Impossible? This?
It was the most recent Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, because the second one comes out this year.
The one with the train.
Yes. It's Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, thank you.
But basically, if you thought when we said D-Box is like the little rumbles and like the little slight movements.
Yeah, that's not.
This is a different level, man. Like.
This is full on, like, there's certain theaters have water that sprays at you. If there's lightning, they do the lights to mimic the lightning.
And then the seats go up, around.
Like, do not bring concessions with you.
Yeah, that is, I was going to say, that is the one concern is because we got popcorn and drinks before this, and we could not do either one.
No.
It's just, it is such a, violent is the wrong word. It's a very immersive
It gets all your senses.
Yeah, man. You are fully in. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if anybody's done. I know at Canada's Wonderland, there used to be the SpongeBob ride or the Shrek ride or like.
Or if you go to Universal Studios, there's like Shrek 4D or used to be.
Yeah.
Same type of vibe.
Yeah, man. It's literally the whole point is that your seat moves with the screen. It tries to get you to not feel exactly what's on the screen, but it gets you to really feel the motions of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
This is not for everyone, and I truly mean that. Honestly,
I think they have. If they don't, they should. But I feel like they must have a warning for like heart conditions, neck conditions, back conditions. Like, shouldn't like do this ride kind of vibe.
It truly is as close to like a roller coaster as you can get in the theater.
I guess so. You just don't. You're not on a track.
Yeah, I know, but like what I'm trying to get at is like
it's literally a simulator.
It is really fun.
Yeah.
And you have to just kind of be prepared for it.
But you also have to pick the right movie.
That too. Like
don't go watch a drama in 4DX.
I don't even know if they're on for 4DX.
Who knows?
But yeah, like we went to go see Mission Impossible. I would recommend something like that.
Yeah, or Jurassic World, or
because there's going to be a new Jurassic World this year.
Any action movie or something like that, go see it in there.
Yeah, I would. An adventure action movie, but truly just be prepared to one, not get concessions, and two, to be fully in it. Because if you're a person that like typically falls asleep in the movie, because I'll be honest with you guys, even a couple of times this week I've fallen asleep at the movies. Just be prepared that movie you're going to be awake the entire time.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah. And then the last, but certainly not least for moms and for other parents, there's a Stars and Strollers thing, which obviously me and Shane have not done. But
so funny enough, I have done it.
You have done it.
Like years ago, there was a movie I wanted to see, but the only time I could see it was earlier.
Okay.
And that was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird because
then you should talk more about this.
I don't remember the movie, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, the lights are on.
Just dimmed.
Yeah, like let's say it's 100%. It goes down to about 60. Like there's still.
Okay. They're still fairly bright then. Oh, interesting.
Like it's still like they need to see if they're doing diaper changes.
I guess so. Yeah.
And then the sound is really quiet. So the only issue I had, and it's not an issue because I went knowing that there'd be moms with children. There was a baby crying, but I knew that going in. So that wasn't a huge like red flag or deal breaker for me because I was still able to go see the movie at like 11:30 in the morning or whatever it was. You just have to keep that in mind that if you do go see it, you're allowed to go see it without kids or babies or whatever.
Just
keep in mind the lights will be a little bit brighter. Like it's soft lighting, so maybe it's like 40 or 50%. I don't remember exactly. I know the lights are on. So
basically, Stars and Strollers is like if you are a parent and you have infants or I guess young children also fit in this category, and you just want to be able to watch a movie while also taking care of your kids.
Yeah.
This is it, right?
Yeah.
Soft lighting, lower volume, so it doesn't wake up the babies.
No, the babies will be awake.
Not necessarily.
No,
Some
not
people might be
always,
sleeping, and then they want to.
but
watch
they
a
do
movie.
provide you with like changing tables and stuff as
Oh,
well.
perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like again, I've not done it. I know Shine has quote unquote done it, but it's like
I've done it under different circumstances.
Yeah,
like I
but,
wasn't, I didn't have a baby.
we are not parents, and so we haven't used the full extent of this.
No.
Right. Yeah. And then Cheyenne wanted to mention 2 other ones. So
Yeah. So there's 2 other options that we have not tried. I haven't seen them that often, but I know Cineplex provides these 2. I think they're great. So the first one is a sensory friendly one. So in the essence of Stars and Strollers, this one, the lights are on, the sound is down. It's meant more for people on the like autism spectrum, and similar vibes.
Yeah.
Can still enjoy the movie. But it just is friendly enough so it won't make them have any adverse side effects when watching a movie. So I think it's awesome that they provide that, especially for people with autism.
Of course, yeah. It's kind of like, not that I'm comparing the 2, but like Stars and Strollers, where they're accommodating to infants, this is kind of accommodating to another fraction of people who need the extra support in terms of watching a movie
and still want to enjoy a movie in the theater,
exactly.
Which I think is great that they offer it. They also offer something called Clubhouse.
Oh, and me and Shana have not seen this before, but she explained this to me 2 seconds ago, and it's amazing.
Yeah, so kids can actually be in an indoor playground in the theater while the parents enjoy the movie from their seats. So essentially, it's like at McDonald's when you'd have the play place.
Yeah. Oh.
But instead of it being in a separate room from your dining table, it's all in the same auditorium. I don't know of any Cineplex around here that have it. Definitely not. So I'd assume it's going to be like Vancouver area, but I don't know.
Right.
So kids can, essentially have playtime while you guys watch the show. If they don't want to be in the play place the whole time, they can just come out of the playground and watch the movie if they really wanted to. But it's nice. It's a really good option. Yeah,
I guess the only concern for that one would be the in between of them running into the theater and out of the theater.
You mean in the play? No, they're not leaving the theater.
No, but into the play place.
Yeah,
like they might be screaming.
I'd also be worried that, I don't know, they'd fall or hit their head or something.
Yeah, I don't know how the logistics work.
Anyway,
but it seems cool. If we get a chance to go, we'll do it.
I'll use the playground.
I don't think we're too.
We're not allowed.
But one of the things I just remembered that me and Cheyenne have done, and this is again only at one theater that we've ever been to, in the Erin Mills Town Center in Mississauga, is what's called Junction, which is a very particular thing, and I think there's only 1 or 2, or at least a very few amount in Canada that I've seen, and it's basically a arcade, which every theater has. And then it has a whole bar setup. So it has a bar, has some pool tables, a bunch of chairs.
Little venue.
Yeah, a little live area where there's a comedian can come, or a band or come or whatever. And then in the theater part of it, there's different concessions. So they have their own menu. For example, one of the things that we always get, or I always end up getting, and Cheyenne takes a bite out of, is the Philly cheesesteak poutine, which is not available at all your Cineplexes. And then the theater experience is that of VIP, where it's reclined seats, but it's for every theater. So you can, or every auditorium. So you can be watching on a regular movie, but the seats are reclined.
Yeah.
Or you can watch them in Ultra AVX and the seats are reclined.
Yeah.
They don't even have, I don't think, VIP there. I think it's just all of them are reclined seats, and they have the specific tables in front of you for a reclining seat kind of sitting. It is really cool. My one thing about that place is there's only, I think, 6 auditoriums. So it usually just plays the top movies coming out that week.
Yeah, but even new releases, sometimes they don't always put them on. They'll just keep playing other ones.
Right. So for example, I think Wicked is still playing there. So an older movie, but people are still going to go see it, right? All right, guys, that'll be the end of our shorter episode.
Yeah.
Just because obviously Cheyenne's not feeling the best, but also
hopefully my voice wasn't that heinous, but
no, I don't think it will be. But also because I'll be honest with you, this week has been tiring. And so a smaller episode recording is a good one for me.
Our master editor here.
Woo.
No, much appreciated. But yeah, thanks for tuning in and listening to us
rant about. Just a quick disclaimer. Obviously, these are our opinions for movies. So if you do disagree with our movie choice decisions or choices, watch it, man. Like this, we're just trying to get people to go to the theater. We're trying to make sure that you pick the movie that you would like the most.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you want to watch a movie about showgirls, obviously watch The Last Showgirl. If you want to watch a horror movie, and you like the idea of the movie taking place from the spirit point of view, I would say give Presence a try anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But yeah, like, remember, it's just our opinion. So if you disagree with them, ours are not hard, cold fact.
No,
right?
They're just how we feel about them.
Exactly. Right? And us watching, I think, 17 movies so far this year, or 15 movies this year. This is just our opinion, right?
Yeah.
Also, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Threads.
We're on Letterboxd.
Yeah, Letterboxd. Please follow our Letterboxd. We'll be updating them consistently with our, because it's out of 5 and we do ours out of 10, so we'll adjust our ratings to fit that.
Yeah, and anytime we talk about the movie, then we'll update our rating.
Exactly.
So you won't see the rating before the episode gets released.
Exactly. So for us, that'll be, we'll either do it today, which is the Saturday, or we'll do it Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, guys, follow us along as we keep going. Recommend us to your friends, family, coworkers, whoever.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe.
Exactly. Yes, please leave us a comment. Rate the show also, because on Spotify you can rate.
Yeah, please rate, and then hit the notification bell if you want to see more of us.
Exactly. All right, guys? All right, so thank you for watching this episode.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at the movies.
Bye.
Bye.